I've got my father's Mercedes back today, mainly because I want to give it a good long-term protection. That car doesn't get washed until it gets delivered to me, to be honest. He does not care about washing his car. He keeps saying, why would you wash a car when you've got a detailer in the family? So, I want to put something on the car which is going to last a decent amount of time. It means that it's going to stay nice for longer, and also when he does deliver it to me for a wash, it's going to be nicer, it's going to be easier to wash. So that's why today I am going to be applying Garage Therapy's 3 ceramic sealant. So this is interesting, to get the final version of a product which I have helped in the testing of. Just before Christmas last year, I was sent 2 prototypes versions of this product. And it was really interesting to see how they worked. I was trying them in very cold conditions. It was practically 0 degrees. It was very, very bitterly cold, and they still worked well and they lasted a decent amount of time. But I was able to give my feedback to Maz and Rog to let them know what I thought about these, and they've taken that feedback on board, as well as other people testing like Martin from the OCD channel and Paul Dolden, a very small YouTuber he is. So we've given all of our feedback that we can to the guys at Garage Therapy, and they have come up with the final version of this. It's a ceramic sealant, so ceramic is a hot topic right now. Everybody's got a ceramic product. What I would call this is it's more of a light ceramic coating. You know, you get your full fat ceramic coatings which come in these tiny little bottles to apply, and you've got to make sure that it's 100% clean and polished and everything, and make sure everything's gone. And it takes much longer to apply because of the thin swiping nature. This is a sprayable product, so I would call this a light ceramic. They claim up to about 5 months. I think they've seen a bit longer than that in their own testing, but around 5 months of protection from this, which is great. I'm going to apply this on my father's car today. I will talk about the application and the rules and how they want the directions. I'll talk about that in the voiceover. I want to get cracking on with the car just now because it's gone cloudy. They don't want you to apply this in direct sunlight or on hot panels. So I want to get a move on. I'm going to give the car a proper wash down and decontamination. I'll go through the details of that in the voiceover so you know what I'm talking about. So let's just get cracking right now. So the car has already had a good pre-rinse to make sure as much of the surface dirt has been knocked off. And in the snow foam lance here, I've got Garage Therapy's Zero Decon shampoo as the snow foam. It's a stronger product, which means it will be attacking the dirt that's left there, and also the waxes and sealants or any other protection product that's on the paint, helping to get rid of them. I'm also using an ultra soft detailing brush from Carbon Collective here to get round any of the dirt traps, make sure that nothing else is left in there. Then a good rinse off, and I can already see that Zero has done a good job at attacking some of those previously applied protection products. Now on to the contact wash. Again, I have Zero in the bucket. I've got 65 milliliters of the shampoo in my wash bucket. Of course, using a 2-bucket wash method to be nice and safe. Now after the rinse off, it's time for the iron fallout removal. This is Reaper Detailing's iron fallout remover. You can't see any of the red bleeding because it's a black car. Then onto the tar removal. This is AM tar. And normally you'd see all the little tar spots running if there were any. But again, tar is black and so is the car. However, while wiping over, if there was anything on the bonnet, I probably would have felt it. But this car had been decontaminated not that long ago, so I wasn't expecting much on the car and I really couldn't feel anything under my microfiber. What you see here is what remains of my Zero Decon shampoo in the bucket. What I'm using it with is this G3 Pro Deep Clean Clay Mitt. What I'm doing here is using the shampoo, which I've already sprinkled onto the bonnet, as my clay lubricant. My mitt is full of it, so am I at times, and I'm working it across the paint using the shampoo as my clay lube, which is fantastic. So I'm engaging the cleansing ability of Zero with the mechanical cleansing ability of the clay mitt, and the mitt being much larger means I can cover a much larger area. Again, I couldn't really feel or hear any other contamination under the mitt, which was great because that means I know that this is a really good decontaminated panel. And then I move on to Reaper Detailing's Overthrow. This is a wax and polymer remover. I'm just trying to pick up anything else that's left on this panel at all, spraying it onto a wet panel and wiping it over to work it in. It's diluted at 10:1. And give it a good rinse off, and you can see the water is really clinging to the panel here. This shows me that practically all of the protection is gone. So give it a good dry over. And just to be sure, I've got my own concoction of a panel wipe here. As directed in the instructions, this is what you should do, and this is to help remove anything else, any greases, waxes, oils, or anything at all on the paint, now removed, to make sure that the panel is as clean as it can be for applying the ceramic sealant. Now here I've got my microfiber applicator. I am priming the pad with 4 sprays. Then I give it another one just to be sure, and because of the higher temperatures today, I wanted to make sure that it didn't go straight onto the panel, but rather to be spread by this microfiber. A good even application in a cross-hatch fashion is a good idea, just to make sure it gets evenly applied across the whole panel. And usually you would wait 30 to 60 seconds for it to cure, but because of the temperatures, I didn't want to wait that long. It was already going to cure fast and that carrier was going to flash off. So I gave it the first wipe over to level it. Then, to avoid any streaks, I used a damp towel followed by a dry towel to buff it to a high shine. The same again on the lower half. I'm doing it in quarters because this is a really big bonnet. It's about 3 times the size of the bonnet on my car. So the same again, short cure time, damp microfiber, then a dry microfiber to buff it back, and marvel at the gloss and shine. And I could really feel fantastic slickness under the microfiber. Really apparent, really quick. So once I got into my stride, and on the cooler side of the car now, I was able to get moving through this pretty quickly. You could see the towels there on the bonnet disappearing because it was so slick. By the way, there was no wind, so they weren't getting any assistance there at all. But you can see, it's really quick to apply. It's faster than a wax. You can see that you can get round the car pretty quickly. It barely looks like there's any on there, but that's absolutely fine. You can see it when you're applying it, but here all you're seeing is the reflection. But there was an instant change in the surface tension. The slickness was fantastic. And then after your hard work, when all is said and done, and you've given it its final buff over, this is what you're left with. Fantastic shine and gloss and brilliant slickness. Leave this to cure overnight if you can in a dry place, and it will get a little bit slicker and it will cure fully and hopefully 5 months worth of protection, and that's not including their maintenance products. So the verdict at the end of the video, as always, what did I think of 3CS? You'll have seen I had issues today. I didn't use it quite as prescribed. That is because the temperature. It was very, very warm and very humid, and that meant that this was evaporating off. The raw materials, the SiO2 raw materials, as they put it in here, are carried onto the paint within this liquid. This is the carrier. And when you spray it onto the panel and you wipe it over, the carrier then evaporates away, leaving behind the SiO2 protective product. Now, if it's really, really warm, it is going to evaporate off too soon, and you're going to be left with streaks. You're going to be left with high spots and issues. Not spraying it directly onto the panel, but instead applying it directly onto the microfiber applicator pad and then spreading it. That helped me get the product onto the panel more evenly, and an even coat is key. That's what you're looking for. So very slight overlap on each pass, and just make sure it's all very, very even. Then with the curing time, they say 30 to 60 seconds. I didn't really want to wait that long, so I cut that down dramatically just to make sure that I was leveling it off quickly and then buffing it. And also, although I was seeing a few streaks, one of the things you can do is grab a damp towel and use that to help pick up any of those high spots, so you're still leaving behind the product. Then a dry towel to buff off, and that will sort any of those issues out. I don't have the luxury of having a big enough garage to be able to take the whole car into and work on it and around it. I mean, that's a very big car anyway, but even a small car, I'm struggling here. If I had the luxury of a bigger garage where I could control the temperature, then I would use it exactly as prescribed. So do keep that in mind. If you are like me and you have to do it on your driveway, that's something that is worth considering, is the temperature is very much a consideration. They do mention it should be applied above 6 degrees C. Keep that in mind. Don't use it in the height of winter when it's the coldest days. Make sure this is applied, you know, summer or autumn. Make sure it's ready for your winter protection. What you're going to be left with, though, when that's done, is great shine and gloss. I mean, I was really pleased with the look of the car. It's very shiny, very glossy, and very slick. Slickness is something that Garage Therapy are really obsessive, passionate about. Their shampoos are all super slick. Their detailing spray, 2QD, is incredibly slick. Their topper for this product, which will be coming in a future video, 2 Sigma, is again also very slick. So you've got some maintenance products to help you maintain the cleanliness, the look of the car, the shine of the car, the gloss of the car. And also, because this leaves a slick surface, it means that the car is going to be difficult for the dirt that lands on it to stick to it. It's going to make it harder. Any dirt that is on there is going to have perhaps a self-cleaning effect. When you're driving in a heavy rain shower, for example, the dirt will not be able to cling quite as well to that paint, meaning that it will get cleaned off with the rain. It should also make your continuous washes and your maintenance washes that little bit safer and quicker and easier, because as you just give the car a pre-rinse, hopefully you'll be able to knock off as much dirt as possible. Now, price-wise, £18 is what this will cost you for a 500ml bottle, but you can see I did the entire car. That's a Mercedes E-Class Estate. It's a big car, lots of metal. The bonnet on that car is about 3 times the size of the one on my car. Now, I didn't apply it on the roof. I must stress that because I'm testing something else. So I needed that roof for something else, but I did the rest of the car, and you could see how little I actually used. That's great. That means that I'm going to get a lot of applications out of this, which is going to make it better value for money. And if you use that in conjunction with the maintenance products, you're going to see some good life out of that product, and hopefully a continued amount of shine and gloss. So it'll be very interesting to see how well this lasts on the car. I'll get it back at some point and we'll have a look at it. I'll go over it with one of the other products, and I'll use all of their products just to make sure I'm maintaining that car and keeping the shine and gloss. However, I think it's fantastic. Garage Therapy are continuing to knock out some fantastic products. I'm really proud to be part of some of the development, or some of the assistance in the development of this product. To see it go from the prototypes up to the release product is absolutely fantastic, and I'm chuffed to bits. And thank you very much, guys, for continuing to support me and sending this. If you guys want to check out the product, make sure you go to their website. I'll leave a link down in the description below to this product and all of the rest, so you can go and check out what they have if they are for you. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and smash that like button. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and while you're there, make sure you ring the notification bell so you don't miss my next video uploads. In the meantime, I've been Specky. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.